Hey, everybody. Hope you're all doing well today. Hope everybody's had a good Monday. Hope you had a good weekend. I love y'all are telling where you're from all over. What do we got? Pittsburgh, New York, South Carolina, Maine, Minnesota, Georgia. We got everywhere. Florida. Oh, y'all are great. That's so interesting for me to see. Is this Matt saying hello? Matthew Presley. I guess that's my Matt. Canada, Utah, Tennessee. Oh, wow. Michigan, Missouri. I'm sure I missed some. Chattanooga, I see Tennessee. Pittsburgh, East Tennessee, Wisconsin, Oregon, Ohio, Mexico, New Mexico, New York, Outer Banks, Kansas. Y'all are going so fast, I can't keep up. Marion, Colorado, Boone, New Jersey. Wow, y'all are everywhere. Another Canada. More Canada. Lots of Tennessee, North Carolina girls here. Honey Hush is here from North Carolina. Joanne, I know a lot of you others are too. Reno, Nevada, Illinois, Alabama, California, South Carolina. I think I already said that one. Georgia again. Ken, yeah, Ken's just right down the road. Australia, wow. Eastern Kentucky, Ohio, Boone, Desert Southwest, Connecticut, Louisiana, Iowa. Y'all are great. Canada again. Lots of people from Canada. That's wonderful. Central New York. Appalachia Old Timey Skill says the moon. I don't know if I'd want to be from the moon. I do like it though. My brother Steve, when he was little, Granny and Pap like to tell this story. He's 5 years older than me, but that he would see the moon, like especially when it's a full moon, maybe they was coming home from church or something like that, wherever they was at outside, and he'd cry for it. He was probably 3 or 4 years old, big enough to talk. He'd say, "Daddy, I want that rock. Daddy, get that rock. I want that rock, Daddy." He thought that Pap could get the moon. He thought it was a big rock, and he wanted it. So they've told that story about him all my life. I was trying to teach Ira the other day. He's been seeing the moon, and I was telling him, I see the moon and the moon sees me. God bless the moon and God bless me. He didn't really understand what I was saying, though, of course. Oh, y'all are so kind. Thank you. Ever got to Virginia there? Y'all are still. There's a Granite Falls. That's where me and Matt was just at. So we had a great time at the book signing. Some of you I know was there. I done seen a North Carolina girl there. She was there. It was wonderful to meet so many of you in person. It was just wonderful, wonderful to meet you. So nice. We had the best day. It was just had a good trip, and the owners there of the store, Steve and Lisa or Steve and Tracy, they could not have been nicer. Their son Austin, they were just such a nice family. They made us feel right at home. They helped. Tracy was I said, resident photographer. She helped everybody take pictures. She was so nice. They were. It was just the best experience all the way around. And y'all were so nice, everybody that come, and it was a real success too, in that people was there kind of before it was time, and then it was a steady, never a break the whole entire time. In fact, we went past the time that it was supposed to end. We still had people there, so it was really success, and then it was just so nice. I was really impressed that or surprised, not really impressed, but just surprised that so many people from Granite Falls or from directly around Granite Falls watched us. I was just surprised. I was so surprised. People would say, just down the road. I just live down the road. I was really, really surprised by that. And we had people come from far away in Alabama, 8 hours. Thank you so much for coming. Y'all were so kind. And from Florida, from Pennsylvania, Diane Lamb come from Pennsylvania. So it was just so wonderful. It was so great. It was really a blessing. People was just really kind to each other as they stood in line and sharing stories and meeting each other. And You shared so many stories with me and Matt. It was so, so nice. And I got to meet one of my friends I've been online friends with, Papa on here. Sometimes y'all see his name in the comments. I've known him online, talked on the phone a little bit, had letters over the years and correspondence and things like that, lots of emails. But I've not never seen him in person, like 15 years. And so I got to see him, and that was very, very good. That was, I think it blessed, I know it blessed me and Matt to get to meet him finally in person, but I think he was excited too. So that was nice. It was just a really, really wonderful day. A lot of you brought us things and brought things for Granny and for Katie and Corey and the boys. Thank you so much. Y'all were so, so kind, so kind. It was just it was a wonderful, wonderful day. And we, had to leave early. We went and come back in the same day. And on the way, the traffic was none until we got probably to Waynesville, and even then it wasn't bad. So we had just the easiest trip out there. And on the way back, we thought, well, traffic will, it'll be a Saturday evening. We'll be paying for traffic, but it wasn't that bad. I mean, it was more than that morning, but it wasn't that bad at all. It wasn't that bad. So it was really, really an amazing day all the way around. And if you ever get to go there, there to um, Granite Falls, just visit the little light bookstore, because they were so kind and they had so much. It was really a beautiful, if you've ever been to like a Christian bookstore, they had a lot of beautiful stuff, and you'll be able to see it because I did some video. So I hope to share that later this week. Hopefully I'll be able to share that. So it was really, really, really a nice day. Now, today, if you read the title there, Explosion, you're probably thinking, what happened? We've had a very interesting day at our house today. We did have an explosion, but everybody's okay. Oh, Melanie, thank you so much. You're very, very kind. Thank you. So Katie worked all morning. I was doing other stuff. I had to go to the post office and do a bunch of other things and other work. And she was working all morning after she got out of take a nap to make a chicken casserole. She was making a chicken casserole for everybody to eat, and smelling delicious. And I was back at my computer working, and I don't know where Matt was at, but I heard something like an explosion. And then I heard her say, Daddy, would you come? I need you. Would you come in here? And so then Matt got up and went in there, and then I got up and went. So I was like, oh my goodness, what's happened? So the casserole was done completely almost. Casseroles don't take long, but the casserole dish exploded in the oven. We've never had anything like that to happen. Oh my goodness, you talk about a mess. It just shattered into the tiniest pieces of glass. Of course, the casseroles, no good. You couldn't eat it. But Katie had just shut the door, like literally opened it and then shut it, looking at it, to see if the top was brown. And it exploded. And thank goodness it didn't, because glass did come out the sides and underneath the door pieces. So thank goodness that Katie had it shut, or it could have hit her in the face or something, which would have been terrible, been horrible. She was like shaking. She was so scared. And of course she was apologizing. I was like, what are you apologizing for? It was it's a casserole dish that we've put in the oven for years. Maybe it's wore out. That might be what happened. I think it's one me and Matt got when we first got married. But I said, you didn't do anything wrong. It's the same thing I would do. I would make a chicken casserole and I would put it in the oven. That's what I would do. And that one had already been in the oven. I don't know what happened. I guess just somehow the glass failed. I don't know. Anyway, it was an exciting day. And then that led to like 2 hours of cleaning, because we had, of course, let it cool down, but then we had to get all that out and get everything out of the stove. Matt had to take the elements out. And then when he did, he had to end up having to get in the back. We had to move the whole stove, and he had to go, because he pulled a wire loose or something. He had to go from the back inside, and it was a whole ordeal. RC, I don't know what kind of dish it is. I mean, other than it was glass, like a green glass. I think I've had them since me and Matt was first married. If not that long, then soon after that, because I have two. One was like a 9 by 13 or whatever. And then one that matches it is a round one with a lid, and they're like a greenish colored glass. They're real pretty. And they have like an imprint on them. They're not just flat, if that makes sense. It's like, I think it's like fruit or something. Anyway, I've had it, and used it over and over and over all these years, but I guess today was the day that it just wasn't gonna make no more chicken casseroles or cobblers or cakes or any of the other things I've made in it over the years, so, yeah, I'm very glad that Katie wasn't hurt, that she just shut the door back right when it happened, and nobody was hurt. It was just made a big, huge mess and scared Katie to death, and but it's all cleaned up now, so it's all over with, all over with. Of course, she just I said, "Don't feel bad about that. I feel bad that you've spent all morning long working on this chicken casserole, and now you didn't get to eat it." That's what I feel bad about, because there's no way to get the glass out of it, of course. Oh, goodness. Janice, thank you so much. Thank you, Janice. And Janice, I'm praying for you, and I know everyone else is. Janice is one of the ones that's been on our prayer list that we've all been sharing here, that is fighting cancer. So we'll keep praying for you, Janice. And please leave some of any other prayer requests you've got, leave in there. I've got some on my phone. As I go over the wisdom, I'll share those with you. Oh, goodness, that's terrible. J-Dub says, "My dad had that happen. He took it out of the oven and placed it on a trivet. It exploded, and I got hit with hot food and glass. Luckily, no one was hurt." That's so dangerous. Yeah, so dangerous. I've read about people, like, having that happen. I've heard people, but I've never had nothing like that, nothing glass break like that. Oh, Denise says that happened to me once, but it happened, then I put the casserole dish on the counter and thought it was from taking it out of a hot oven. Maybe so, yeah, but then I think, "Gosh, I've done that so many." I mean, everything you take out's hot, right? And then your house is not, probably not frigid, but it's definitely cooler than the than the oven, so, yeah, that's, yeah, stress in the glass can do that, Tress says, so maybe it was something like that, and it just finally took all it was gonna take. So Brian says, "Tipper, please continue to pray for my mom, Janet. She has Parkinson's. We'll continue to pray for her. We will." See, I see somebody, oh, it was John, say, "How's Corey?" Corey's doing good. Corey's doing good, and she's just got a lot on her plate, so if you hadn't been seeing her in her videos, but she's fine. She's been doing really good. Her and Woodrow and Austin all are. Of course, Austin's like Matt, he's enjoying this time of the year because it's deer season. Oh, Jennifer, that's great. That sounds great. Oh, goodness, Rebecca. Well, I'm sorry. It must just be the day for explosions. I'm glad everything was okay. Yeah, Pam, that's right. It's just one of those days. Yeah. And of course you feel like I've wasted as especially as a mother who wants to your baby's asleep. So that's when you can really do stuff. And I know she felt like I've wasted all this time. I thought I was gonna have something all of us good to eat. And instead I should have just been doing something else. So no, Diana, thank you for praying for Granny. So I can't remember last week if I guess I updated you on that last week that I can't remember what I've told you and what I hadn't, but she had the bladder infection and then had to be retested and it was still there. I think I told you all that. Yeah, because we talked about the cranberry. So far she's doing good. So feeling a little bit better. And so she's been crocheting some, trying to get ready for Christmas, of course. So thank you so much for praying, continue to pray for her. And a lot of you that come to the book signing sent stuff to Granny too. So thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. Alan says, "Prayers, recently lost my wife after 36 years of marriage. She was 69 years old. I'm so sorry, Alan. I'm so very sorry. I will pray for comfort and peace for you. I sure will. I'm so sorry." Oh, I'm so glad, intuitive reading, that you enjoyed the cookbooks. That's wonderful. Oh, Theodore, thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, Living Life says original Pyrex was made with glass that was resistant to thermal shock. Now it's made in the USA is lime glass, which is cheaper and susceptible to shock. Okay. Mine was not Pyrex. It was, I don't even know what it was. It didn't have a name on it. But that's interesting. That may be what happened to that one. Yeah, Cameron, that's good. Yeah. After something like that, just order a pizza and forget about it. That's good. Actually, Katie was just making that so that for dinner, actually, is what she was making it for. And then, there'd be some left and they could eat it. We could eat it over the coming days or whatever. And especially Ira could eat it. But we had something really interesting for supper, something I have never ate. And then Matt, I thought that he had never, I knew he'd eat it, but I thought he'd never cooked it. But then when I was saying that earlier, he said, "No, actually, I have cooked it. But it was before me and you ever met, years and years ago." Anyway, it was bear meat. We had bear hunters give us some meat, and so Matt cooked it, and it was actually really, really good. It's the first time I ever ate bear meat, so it was really, really good. And we'll show that in our November roundup video, so you can see what it looks like. And Matt made like a stew out of it and had vegetables in it. It was really good. Yeah, David, people were very, very kind Saturday. They brought us some very beautiful things. Harper, yeah, that was Tom that gave us the bear grease. And actually, though, we had another one of our subscribers send us bear grease, which was really wonderful too. And we got to meet David Saturday too. It was very nice to meet him. Kim says, I could use prayers for headaches I've been getting daily along with vertigo. I will pray for you, Kim. I'm sorry. I've never had vertigo, but I've certainly had migraines. I don't have them now, but I had them for many, many years, and they're miserable, I know. Uncle Sasquatch says he's eaten it before, and it's good, just a bit stringy. Oh, Eric, that might be what mine was, because it was like orchard fruit green glass casserole oven proof bacon dish. It was like a fruit pattern on it, so that might be what it was. I don't know. I didn't really ever see a name on it like Libby, but it's gone now. Of course, I have the other round one that has the lid. I still have it. No, Ira's not 2 yet. He won't be 2 till after the first of the year. Let's see. Y'all are going so fast. Oh, David, yeah. Living Life says prayers needed for my husband, David. He fell down our stairs and broke his back in 2 places. Oh, I'm so sorry. I will pray for him. So sorry. Shady Gremlin, it was a casserole dish that exploded. All is well. Everything's okay. Hello, Alice, from Ireland. We were going over all the places. There's us in Ireland. Oh, Vanessa, it was so nice meeting you. It was just so, so nice. Thank you. Kim's from Central Ohio. Alan, I'm so glad you like to hear Granny sing with Paul. I'm so glad. A lot of people said that Saturday, and I told her, and she was real pleased. She said, "I don't know why." I said, "Well, because it's beautiful." Let's see. We3B says, please pray for my husband to have complete healing in his kidneys. Thank you. I sure will. Lady A says, please pray for my daughter. She's been having seizures off and on since 2021. We don't know why. She'll be having an MRI this Friday. I pray they find out why and they're able to help her. Peggy says, my daughter has had migraines for years. The doctor suggested Botox injections and they have helped. That's great. That's great that it helped. Laura says, prayers for my husband, please. He has been so short of breath lately. I'm so sorry. That has to be a terrible feeling. I'll pray for him. Hello, Holman's Homestead. Yeah, the little footsteps upstairs. That's Ira and Woodrow both. Those little footsteps are. Woodrow's up there too. Jeff says, please pray for my mom. She was watching every day until her valve replacement. She's 88. Oh, I will pray for her. I'll pray for her. I know that's hard. Granny had a valve replacement, but she was much younger than that when she had it. Luana says, my 26-year-old cousin is at Vanderbilt Hospital in critical condition. She needs a liver transplant ASAP. Please pray for her. I will pray for her. So sad. She's so young. Loretta's going to I've met Loretta. She lives not too far from me. Pray for me. I'm having surgery Thursday. I will pray for you, Loretta. Oh, you're very nice, Patricia. Y'all are very, very kind. Okay, let's see what else I got to share with you, and then we'll chat some more. Maybe Mr. Matt will come and join us. Let's see. Oh, I was going to bring the hazelnuts down here and show you, and then I didn't. They're up on the porch. But a lot of people said that it was just great. I wish I could do this, but I should put them on the tree, like Christmas tree, like it's roping, but they're really heavy, so they wouldn't stay on there. A few people said I could put them around the door frame. That might work because I could like nail them up or something. And then a lot of people want to know how Granny and Pap hung them together, how they got them put together. They drilled holes in them, and then it's a wire, and that's another reason it's heavy. There's wire through them. That's what they're strung with. So I meant to bring them with me, but I did not. But I want to do something with them. They're kind of pretty just sitting in the basket. Mostly I love having them because I know that they worked so hard gathering them and then doing that together. You know, they done projects like that together over the years. So I love that. And then the other thing was a lot of people ask about that tenderizer that Matt used last week. The little brand on it is Denny. But I looked on Amazon and I couldn't find that brand. I did see a lot like that though, that are kind of like you push and all those little needles come down as you tenderize. So maybe you could find another one. Okay, Jen says there's like 15 in her rural community that has cancer, childhood cancer. I'm so sorry. Yes, we will pray for the research going on, but pray for them too. We sure will. Anyway, so maybe you could find that. And then I try to make notes of things people ask about. So another thing was a lot of people said Tipper used to have a leaf blower. And then in the next video, we had a leaf blower that Matt blew the steps. So he does use that on the front porch and on the back porch to get the leaves. But with me moving everything and really wanting to kind of feel like I had scrubbed, that's why I use the broom. But a lot of people said you should use get you a leaf blower and use it. And then when I showed it in the next video, I didn't mean to show it. It's just that Matt used it. They were like, oh, you have one. You should use that. And Matt does use it to blow them off just on a weekly basis. Another thing, talking about my friend Ed a minute ago, he was the first one that commented that night that told in the video where I was talking about using, if I'm almost out of milk, that I would use what we called cream. It's really evaporated milk, but growing up, Granny called it cream. She still calls it cream. She'll tell me, get her groceries, that she needs some cream. Anyway, to open it, that little tool, Papa was the first person that said what it was called. I didn't know. Seems like maybe I'd heard somebody call that, but I'm not sure if my mind's sure about that. But then after that, a lot of people commented that it's a church key, that it's called a church key. So I thought that was really fascinating. And I did some research, and it said that it was because I guess the original ones like that were similar to the shape of a church key. I don't know if that's so or not, but anyway, that was interesting. I'm going to share the link to our Etsy store. We only have 2 mugs left, or 2 mugs were left before I started this, if they're still there. And I probably won't get any more till after Christmas. But their cookbooks are in there, and then the Christmas CD. That's really what I wanted to say. As Christmas gets closer, Paul and Pap's wonderful Christmas CD is in there, and the wonderful book about Opal that so many of you loved. It's in the Etsy store there too. And then you can see There's the Wilson Brothers album record is in there, and then there's also some of Pap and Paul's other CDs, so you can look there. Here's a prayer request I come across that I'm going to read, and then I'll go read a few more other things. But this was Jerotha Smith. She said, "My husband was like Matt. He could do most anything that needed doing around the house. Very few things we ever had to hire someone done. December 23rd will be 2 years he died. I miss him so much, but he really suffered the last few months he lived. Please pray that I can adjust. You just feel so alone when your spouse is gone. So please pray for Jerotha. Please pray for her." And then I wanted to share Paul's songs real quick with you. Let's see. If you read The Blind Pig and the Acorn, let's see, Kim, oh, thank you so much. You're so kind. Thank you, Kim. If you read The Blind Pig and the Acorn, you've already heard this one, and maybe you've already heard it on Paul's channel too, or The Blind Pig and the Acorn channel. But The Luckiest Man Alive, and he did that in honor of all the veterans for Veterans Day. It's a lovely song. I only knew it by the Nashville Bluegrass Band, which Paul, if you read the description, he talks about that. But he first actually heard it from Sam Inslee, a dear family friend. He's passed away now, but I didn't realize that Sam ever sung it. Paul said he sung it in a different, like he had a speedier tempo with it. Anyway, it's a really beautiful song. I like it a lot. Really, really good. And then the next one that he shared, the only other one he shared last week, I had never heard before. It's an original by Paul, and it really surprised me because you can see there, the name of it is All You Want to Be, Words and Music by Paul Wilson, before I started listening to it and before I started reading the description. And I thought, what's going to be like a love song or, something like that. And thank you so much, 1961. Thank you. We really appreciate you. Thank you. I thought it was going to be something like that, but it's really a very humorous song. It's funny. And he wrote it when he was in college. And if you read the description, he tells, and Paul has so much fun playing it. He plays it 2 or 3 times on the piano, and then he plays it at the very end on the guitar. And you can just tell he's having the best time. But he tells in the description that when he wrote it, it was when he was in college, and he'd tell you this too, Paul would. He never was a student that cared much. He could just barely kind of do halfway try, and he made C's, which passed. He just didn't try. Like I wanted to be, I was in the beta club and the math club and all that. I tried to make real good grades. I wasn't like valedictorian or nothing, but I tried to make straight A's, or at least A's and B's. Paul didn't care about that. So it's funny, in the description, he says that at some point when he was in school, I think, well, you'll have to go read and see how old he was. I don't remember if he was a junior or senior. I think he said he was a senior. He began to hear people talking about SATs, and he's like, what's an SAT? What are y'all talking about? And so anyway, it's real humorous. And that's when he wrote the song. And then in the description, he talks about how he didn't know what that was, and nobody in our family had ever been to college, and so he wasn't even thinking about college. But his girlfriend at the time got him to take the test, so he took the test. And then Daddy Pap, he talked to him and told him, you ought to go to college, you ought to. And he said, well, he's never steered me wrong before. I don't really know nothing about it, but why don't I try to go? And he even says, I didn't even remember none of this, of course, but said that when he went to college to begin with, he went to Young Harris College where Corey and Katie went. But when Paul went, it was a 2-year college. So then he had to transfer from there to another college to actually get his teaching degree. But it says when back then you had to pay, and I don't even remember if Corey and Katie did or not. I can't remember, but he had to pay $50 for an application fee, and he didn't want to pay the $50 because we didn't have much money, of course, and Mom and Daddy didn't, and he figured he wouldn't get in, and then kind of the financial aid people were like, "You'll get in, just go ahead and pay it." So he did, anyway. And it's also they enticed him to go because of baseball. It turns out he didn't play baseball in college, though, anyway. But you can go listen to that song. I really like it. And if you want to laugh, it's humorous. And you got to remember he was a high schooler when he wrote it, too. It wasn't like he was an adult or anything. Okay, let's see. I think that was all that. Let me share some wisdom and then we'll chat some more and I'll see if I can get Matt to come. This one was from Terry. Terry sent me this. I found these words of wisdom in the book entitled The Eye of the Storm by Max. I never know how to say that. Lucado, y'all tell me, you know who I'm talking about, and wanted to share them. I highly recommend the devotional. He is a gifted writer. This was the wisdom. Love God more than you fear hell. Only harbor a grudge when God does. When you can't trust God's hand, trust his heart. The book of life is lived in chapters, so know your page number. I like that one. Toot your own horn, and the notes will be flat. One I read as a college student years ago, I have often thought of is nothing is waste that makes a memory. Thank you for letting me share. So I love all those. Thank you, Terry, for sharing those. Thank you. I've been sharing Little Wade's Appalachian Zen, so I have some more of those. I'll share a few more of those today. And I think he's going to write a book, so when he does, I'll be sure to let you know. Even a possum knows when to play dead. Sometimes stillness is the smartest move you've got. I like that one. You can't hush the crickets, but you can learn to sleep with them. Not every annoyance needs fixing. Some need accepting. I really love that one. I really do. That's just really wise. A whittled stick don't grow back, so carve careful. Words, time, and choices can't be uncut. That's a great one too. Chop wood with your whole self, or don't pick up the axe. Half-hearted effort don't split nothing. I love that one too. I really love this next one. Even the moon don't shine all at once. Even the moon don't shine all at once. Growth happens in phases. Be patient. I like that one. We want instant gratification, don't we? But so true. Even the moon don't shine all at once. The quieter you walk, the more the woods tell you. Silence brings understanding. Don't scare it off. A dry creek still remembers how to flow. Just cause you're stuck don't mean you're done. That's a good one. When the wind's blowing hard, roots matter more than branches. Dig deep when life shakes loose. You don't sharpen a blade by rubbing it with a feather. Growth requires friction. I like that one too, although that's a hard one to live through. Some hills ain't meant to be climbed. They're meant to be sat on and thought about. I like that one a lot. Not every challenge is a call to action. I love those. Those are all great. Okay, let's see if I can find a few more that y'all sent. This was from Bonnie. Wow, for today, the difference between the impossible and the possible lies in a person's determination. You don't drown by falling in water, you drown by staying there. Thank you for that one. This one was from Mary. I heard this. We live with ourselves and die with ourselves, and the choices we make in between. That's a good one, too. This is a prayer request. This is from my friend Kim. She had to take her daddy to Silva to speak to a doctor about radiation. They're going to be out there for another 5 treatments on his bones. Please pray for him. And so please pray for Kim's daddy. Kim is one of my friends. Anna said, a quote I recently read, which seems to ring true: the loudest noise in a conversation is the assumption beneath the words. That one's pretty deep if you think about it. Believe it is something we tend to remember more so than the actual words said. I bet you all can remember something that somebody may have been saying one thing, but you could feel another, and that's what you remembered. Wanda said, the whole purpose of education is to turn mirrors into windows. Another one from Wanda, a quote, nothing is so painful to the human mind as a great and sudden change. That's very true. Sudden changes. We don't like those much, do we? Donna said, I read a long time ago that courage is not a lack of fear, but the ability to go forth with grace in spite of the fear. I like that one. This is another prayer request. Tina said, please pray for my husband. They found a mass on his brain, sending him to a larger hospital. Tina will pray for him. I'll keep praying for him. I've been praying. This one was from Chestine. I think Chestine is how you say that. If you don't mind, I would like to have a prayer for my granddaughter and her 2 children. She was in a bad car accident last night on the slick roads, and she got a broken vertebrae, and it broke both of her heels. Her little girl, Ivy, she had a big bump on her head, and then her son, August, he's got a fractured skull above his eyebrow, and he's 4, and the little girl is 3. I need you all to pray for them. So I've been praying for them, and now I know that all of you will be too. I pray they heal. Joe said, words of wisdom, pray more, worry less. That was simple, to the point. Dr. Lucy said, please remember my family in your prayers. We just lost a child, and it is the hardest thing we have ever tried to live through. I'm praying for your family, Dr. Lucy. Rick said, I sure would appreciate y'all's prayers. I went to the doctor yesterday with a red rash on my stomach and was diagnosed with Lyme disease. Have to take antibiotics for 21 days. So let's pray for Rick and his Lyme disease to, once those antibiotics are done, to be totally gone. Patricia said, need prayers right now. My cancer has returned and I'm looking at a lot of treatments. So I'm praying for you, Patricia. Keith said, I've heard some say, this is not wisdom, I just thought it was really great, and I already read it to Matt. I've heard some say when something looked really rough, that looks like hammered torment. Hammered torment. That actually sounds like something Matt would say. This one is a praise report. You'll remember last week I asked you to pray for Jennifer, and I read her email about her tumors growing by 11%, even though, she had been feeling good and it was just devastating news. Well, this is the praise report. Hi, Tipper and family. Last week you had requested prayers for me on your video, endometrial cancer, and my tumors had grown by 11.7%. I wanted to be sure to let you and your viewers know that I spoke with my oncology coordinator and it was a mistake. They have grown just a tiny bit, but nowhere near 11%. They called it a mistake reading my scans, but I call it answered prayers for God. This is actually the second time they have misread my scans, but I know God is on the throne and answering prayers. Thank each of you for any prayer offered on my behalf. I absolutely love this community of believers. And please know I always pray for Granny, and that she had added Granny to her church list. So wonderful news, Jennifer. Wonderful. And thank you all for praying for Jennifer. Thank you. Wonderful news. And that was it. That was my words of wisdom. Matt, did I hear you come down here? You want to come join us for a minute? You're petting the cat. Matt's over petting the cat. Wanda says, during our darkest moments that we focus to see the light. I have to go back up through here and see. That's a good one. KWL for real says, my brother passed unexpectedly this week at 69, right on the heels of my mama passing in July. Please pray for peace and acceptance for our family. I will. I'm so sorry. So sorry. I sure will. So sorry. That's hard. Sharman said, I heard a quote that was attributed to Charles Spurgeon, a Bible that is fallen apart most likely belongs to a man or person who isn't. I like that. Sainer says, not all who wander are lost. I've heard that one before. I like that. Sandra says, is just asking, do Ira and Woody like to hear their mama play their instruments? They play so well. That's very kind. Thank you. And they do. They love it. They, especially Katie's fiddles are on the wall, so they're not in a case, so you can just see them, and they go in there and point at them, and they want her to get them and play them. Wanda, another one from Wanda, always do your best. What you plant now, you'll harvest later. Oh, Cindy, I'm so glad. Cindy loves the Christmas CD. It is the best. I listen to it. I mean, of course, I'm prejudiced, but it is great. Oh gosh, Jen. Yeah. So celiac was her problem. I'm glad they figured that out. Uncle Sasquatch says, I was in the beta club too. Most people don't believe it. I'll tell you a funny one about Matt, Uncle Sasquatch. Do you believe he was a library? What was it, a monitor?
A library, they called it a library aide.
A library aide?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that either.
Yeah, I'm kind of bumfuzzled about that one myself.
Shirley says, prayers, please. My husband, Ron, is finally getting his heart surgery this Wednesday. Many hoops to jump through the last months. He's lost weight, which isn't good. Thanks, Shirley. Shirley, I'll be praying for him. I hope it goes really well. Diana says, when you're troubled and you can't sleep, instead of counting sheep like the people tell you to do, talk to the shepherd. I love that one. Love that one. That's great. Laura says, everyone make sure to cherish every moment. My father became ill and was gone in 5 days. Please don't waste the moments you have with those you love. It's so true. We don't know, do we? We just don't know. Kathy says, please pray for my husband. He's in such a fierce battle right now. We will pray for him. Alan, it was so great to meet you too. It was so great to meet you. Something that you had asked me about, I haven't sent you an email yet, but I'm going to, so you look for that email. Be looking for it. It was so nice to meet you. I hope you're doing well, Matt.
I'm doing good.
Connie, the surgeon said today he will have to put a metal cage in my back. I'm 72 now and just concerned about the healing time. Oh, I'm sorry, Connie, but I'll be praying for that, and I hope it fixes what's wrong, and I hope you do well. They're saying light blue's your color, Matt.
Well, thank you. I got this for Christmas last year, and I don't believe I've ever wore it till now. I just happened to see it, and I thought I'll put that on.
You got that for what?
Christmas.
Oh, for Christmas?
Mhm.
Okay, I don't even remember.
Well, you didn't get it for me.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
We're excited to try that flower too. Thank you so much. FOMO says, I like this wise phrase I read the other day. Ambition without action becomes anxiety. Let's see. Rainy Southern California. Olivia says it's raining in California. Oh, thank you, David. David says Matt and Tipper in person are just like Matt and Tipper on screen. Real. Thank you. That's a compliment. Thank you. Oh, Terry, people that are just now joining are worried about the explosion. It was a casserole dish in the oven. Matt got to clean most of it up. It was a mess, wasn't it, Matt?
It was bad.
It was bad, but all is well. No one was hurt. That's the main thing. Katie had just shut the door back so I'm so glad she did, or it could have hit her in the face because glass went everywhere.
I can't figure out how it blew glass out of the oven.
Yeah, somehow it did.
Out around
out the edges,
corners or the side.
It was a real explosion. Yeah, so that was what it was. But everyone is okay. We're all fine, and now the oven is cleaned and put back together. Thanks to Matt, he had to pull it out and take the back off of it. Harold says, God protected me in my wreck. I came very close to becoming partially paralyzed. Always wear a seatbelt. I did not have mine on. Got thrown out of the SXS, messed up 6 disc in my back. I'm so glad that you're not paralyzed, and I pray you get better. That's so scary. Eric says, did your skiff of snow melt off yet? Yeah, it's gone. It was nice though. It was real pretty. And y'all know I love snow so much. I'll take even a skiff, even that much. I'll take it. Oh, Luana, I'm so sorry. I can't imagine. I can't imagine how you miss her. I'm so sorry you lost her way, way too soon. Uncle Sasquatch says, Matt, do you use an inline or traditional when you muzzle load?
A little bit of both. I really enjoyed the old muzzle loaders, the old cap lock muzzle loaders, but the problem is I can't. My eyesight's not good enough to shoot them very well, but I enjoy fooling with them and shooting them. But I hunt a little bit of both with them, with it, and I have one inline. I don't particularly like them, because I like the older stuff, but it is very accurate and works well, so I can see what I'm doing better with it.
Chris says, is that an Excalibur X bow hanging on the crossbow? I guess that means
it is.
Hang on
Yeah.
wall. It is.
There's actually two hanging there. There's a funny story behind having two. I don't know if we've ever shared that or not, but I finally decided I was going to just hunt with crossbows during the bow season exclusively because of the just hurts me too bad to pull the vertical bows. So I decided to buy one. That's what I wanted, and I bought that one. If you know anything about them, they're pretty pricey. Bought that thing. The very next day, her brother called. He works at a sporting goods store, and they had an older one that had never sold for $100. Brand new, never sold, scope and all. Want to know if I wanted it, and I didn't really need it, but I thought for $100, yeah, I'm going to buy that. So I ended up with two of them at the same time. So got one that I hunt with, and one for a backup now.
Yeah, you're set up, ain't you?
Yeah.
Vanessa, thankfully the oven door didn't seem to be damaged. Did it, Matt? It was fine. The glass, yeah. Alan says, what lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. I like that. That's good. Let's see. Oh, that's wonderful, Marcia. I'm so glad that he's with your family. Amanda, it was an old dish. I think I've had it since me and Matt first got married. If not that long, at least not long after me and Matt got married, I got it. I've had it for years. Granny's doing pretty good, Susan. About the same, I would say. David says some of the high elevations, North Carolina, had 7 inches of snow. My friend Shannon, she lives in Nantahala, and she always gets snow when we just barely get any. And I meant to text her and ask her how much she got, but I never did. And then later in the day, she sent me and our other friends like a group message and had a picture of her porch. I was like, I'm so jealous. But she didn't have that much. It looked like it was about 3 inches maybe, but it was pretty. She said, it's a winter wonderland at my house. I said, yeah, I know. I'm jealous. I just got the skiff. Oh, goodness, Mountain Gal, that is scary. That's the noise was scary, wasn't it, Matt? It was. It was loud. I didn't
know. I thought something had fell off the counter or something, or one of the, I didn't know what it was.
Oh, goodness, Harper, that's scary. Well, Harold, we'll keep praying that everything's all right. And I'm sure you're probably sore, that you keep recovering. Denise says, I've never done this before, but here it goes. These words just really spoke to my heart a while back when I read them. What we take for granted, someone else is praying for. That's so true. Thank you for sharing that, Denise. It's so true. So true. Oh, thank you. Thank y'all for joining us. Did you get a deer at camp, Matt? They're asking.
Not this last time, no. hunted this morning here and home, but didn't see anything. Saw some turkeys, but we've still got 6 weeks or so of deer season left here. So I'm gonna get plenty more hunting in between now and first of the year.
Debbie says, please pray for my grandson. Chemo has him down to 95 pounds, only 16 years old. I'm so sorry, Debbie. We will pray for him. We do can our deer meat. We love it that way too. It's so tender. We do can it. We don't can all of it, but we do try to can some every year. Oh, Laura, I'm sorry. Yeah. She has like what Uncle Sam had, Matt. Matt's Uncle Sam had that for a long time, and so he couldn't eat any red meat at all. And then he kind of got over it a little bit, and now recently he's said it's back.
Mhm.
And so I know, I'm sorry. That's terrible. I know from Uncle Sam.
Gosh, I couldn't imagine. As much as I like meat, I don't know what I'd do.
RC says, how many mounted deer heads do you have?
I think 3 is all I've got. And I've not had one mounted in many years. Not killed one big enough to mount in many years, but it'd have to be a really big one.
You just got 3, is that what you said?
Yeah, that one.
That one was when he was a young boy. Well, all of them was before we were married.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I've not, and I killed one about 15 years ago that I was going to mount, and it stayed in the freezer for about a year, and I decided that's probably not going to happen, so I just got it out and cut the horns off of it, and since then I've not killed anything, and I don't wait for anything bigger, and don't really try to. I'll just hunt for the meat. Occasionally I'll kill a pretty decent one, but meat's what I'm after.
What's on the deer's neck? What is hanging? I think that's just
that's a sanding belt.
Sanding belt, yeah.
A belt sander.
Yeah. Oh, Jen, tell Miss Postel that I said hello. I'd love to come talk to her sometime. She was just one of the best teachers. So Mrs. Postel, Jen's mother there, Jen's her daughter, I had her in high school. I still remember things she talked to me. I mean, not just me, the whole class, but she was kind of like that, a teacher that made you feel like she's just talking to you. But about Romeo and Juliet. Yeah, I would love to come talk to her sometime. Please tell her I said hello. Paul really loved her too. He had her. I'm sure she was part of the influence on Paul wanting to teach language arts, literature. That was his favorite, not just the other parts of it. So please tell her hello. That might have been it, Kim. Maybe it was something like that. Uncle Sasquatch says you can't eat the horns, can you, Matt?
No, not at all. They make pretty good knife handles, though.
Keela says, Matt, a man at the store told me that deer loved grape, pre-sugared Kool-Aid mixed with syrup poured on cracked corn. Have you ever heard that?
Sounds pretty good to me myself.
Matt might be wanting to eat that.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, that's goodness. Oh, Mary, that's wonderful. What a wonderful revival. That's great. Thank you for sharing that. Oh, Jen, that's so nice. That's so nice. Please tell her that we all said hello. She was really wonderful teacher. I'm glad I had her. Oh, the last tomatoes from the garden. That's always good.
Mm-hmm.
Love from France. Thank you. Matt, do you have one in the living room? You need to decorate it for Christmas. We decorate our deer head and our bear head for Christmas.
Well, we've got 2 in the living room, and We used to have a little red blinking Rudolph nose we'd put on one of them, but I don't know whatever went with it.
Well, we got one last year. We found one and we put it back, but then we let Ira play with it and it was soon destroyed.
Oh yeah.
But sometimes we'd put like a Santa hat on it, and Matt's daddy always does that to one in his living room, or Janet does, Nana does. Brian, there was a big crowd. It was just a constant flow of people. It was really, really nice. Really nice. Have you ever seen or have you come across the wasting disease here, Matt, from deer?
No, we had about 15, 18 years ago, we had a little, I think what they call black tongue. And there was quite a few deer died, but since then I've never experienced that myself and never found one, but I heard people talking about it, and I noticed that the numbers were kind of down at that time, but they've recovered pretty well. There's actually too many. I'm afraid it may happen again.
Mm-hmm. Cindy says sometimes unanswered prayers are God's way of saying no. That's very true. And often you can look back in your life and say, I'm so glad that was a no. Because things changed. Keela says he swears that works. I bet it does. I bet they like that. 1961. Thank you so much. It's very kind. Thank you. Oh, April, thank you. It was so nice to meet you and Scott. Yes, those candles are amazing. The smell's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And I've already put the fire cider right where we can see it. So next time, I hope we don't get sick anymore. But if anybody gets a cold again, we'll be using it for sure. Sandra, we usually don't sell all of them, but because I have so many in stock, but we sold a lot of cookbooks on Saturday, or the store did. They sold them. So they sold a lot. I don't think they sold out though. Harper, for us, we won't plant our tomatoes until there's no danger of frost. So for us, that's usually about the second week in May,
Mm-hmm.
at least. Sometimes we might get brave and do it the first week in May, but it's May before we would chance doing tomatoes. And then we would be looking at the weather, so if we seen a cold spell was coming, we wouldn't.
We have had to go cover them up.
And we've had to cover them up. Yeah. We've had frost as late as Mother's Day, but that's rare. That's rare. Most of the time, by the first week in May, you're safe here that it's not going to frost. But that might, yeah. I mean, you could try growing them. I bet they would do okay in a grow bag. Oh, Eric says, I saw a wild turkey running around in Hudson on my way to your book signing on Saturday. That's funny, Eric. Oh, it was so nice to see you. Uncle Sasquatch put Santa hats too. Oh, that's funny, Lady Jane. Carol says your corkboard mat looks like my Pop's basement looked. It gives me all kinds of sweet memories. That's sweet.
Just a bunch of junk hanging back there, and it's been there a long time. I used to work down here a whole lot more than I do now. Probably ought to get rid of some of that stuff.
Tammy says, praise report. She's got a praise report. Paid off my debt. Praise the Lord.
Good deal.
That is wonderful. That's wonderful.
That'll make you sleep good.
Hey, Papa. Famous Mr. Ed is here. We've already talked about you, Papa. Already talked about you.
It's about to get even.
Binks is going to make a debut, I think. Come on. Come on over. Come on. Come a little bit further and they can see you. He's going to go behind the laptop instead. Maybe there's his tail. He don't want me doing that. He's gonna leave now. Well, you jumped up here. He's trying to figure out what's going on. Yeah. Oh, that's great, Debbie. That's great. Cindy says, don't get rid of anything, Matt, because then you will need it. That's the truth, ain't it? As soon as you get rid of it, then the very next week you need it. Michael says, how goes the construction? Winter's coming.
Yeah.
No movement on the shed. No movement yet.
I'm waiting on it to get just as cold as it can get, and then I'm going to jump out there and get started on it. Now, Julie, I should have brought the hazelnuts down here, but it's just like a wire. Have you noticed that? They strung them on wire, didn't they, Matt? Yeah.
Maybe I'll try to remember to bring them, but I don't know if we can tell how they did it or not. Yeah, David says, scat there, Binks, your tail's in the gravy. I say that to Woodrow and Ira, trying to keep it alive since Miss Cindy said it. Oh, Vanessa, that's wonderful. I'm so glad Aunt Ruby liked it. That's great. It wasn't too cold here today, Melrose. It was started out, I guess, we had a frost, didn't we, Matt?
It was cold this morning in the tree.
And Matt was in a tree, and then it warmed up, I don't know, into the low 60s, I guess. Was that how warm it got?
It's been hard to get that
upper
warm
50s,
up here on this side of the mountain.
About upper 50s for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw that Matt saw that Justin's dad got to come home, and he told me that's so wonderful. That's so amazing.
Yeah, I never did hear for sure exactly what happened, how he fell, but my goodness, he got injured pretty badly. But he looks like a pretty tough old bird. I bet he'll recover pretty well.
I sure hope he does. I'm praying for him. I hope he does. That's so scary to fall like that and get so broke up.
And I didn't realize he was the age he is either, so that makes it even worse. I think he said he was 81, and he broke 11 ribs and punctured a lung. My goodness.
Mm-hmm. That's dangerous. I mean, some people can fall from a big distance and hardly get hurt, and then you can fall just 10 feet and get really hurt or die. And, so you just don't know.
Remember, your daddy fell off of the second step or the first step of a 6-foot step ladder and broke his shin bone. I don't remember exactly what happened. I was there. I had my back turned to him, and his leg, when he fell, his leg went between the ladders, the two uprights of the ladder, and the ladder scissored shut on his shin and cracked it. And boy, he hobbled around for quite a while on that, but it finally got better.
Yeah. Tracy says it was teens and 40 plus miles an hour winds in Boston. Ooh, yeah, that would be terrible. Oh, it was so good to see you, Raven. And the barn quilt. I was telling Matt today, wasn't I? I said, I'm going to put this on the porch, and then you're going to hang it up for me. I guess that's where I'll put it, is on the porch. I wish I had a place like when you pull up to the house, but we really don't have like an open place that would make sense. But it's so beautiful. Thank you so much. I just loved it. And thank y'all so much for coming. It was so good to see you again. Thank you so much. Oh, he was, Sasquatch says he fell off a ladder when the tree limb he was sawing kicked back and knocked the ladder from under him.
Okay.
He's 81 and tougher than pig iron.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
He looks like he might be. Looks like he's worked hard all his life, and that'll make you tough.
Yeah. I got to be careful, which that was just the tree did that. So I'm just glad that he's okay and back at home. And do you believe we've talked to you for over an hour? Or I have. It seems like it's went by so fast, but we better not keep you no longer. And let you go do what you need to do. We really appreciate you spending time with us, though. We hope you have a great week. We have some videos coming this week. One of them will be the book signing, if I can get that put together, so you can have a peek at how it went. Hope you enjoy that. Hope you have a wonderful week, and we love you all. And we hope to see you next Monday night or Monday evening.